All right, so you're gearing up for this Prepress Operator interview, and you want to make sure you're ready to impress. We've got a whole stack of resources here from RoleCatcher, career guides, sample interview questions, the whole shebang. We're going to deep dive into them so you can totally nail it.
Yeah, it's like having a roadmap for your career, highlighting exactly what hiring managers are looking for. And you know how you can showcase your skills to stand out.
Okay, so let's unpack this. First things first. What does a Prepress Operator actually do?
More than just pushing buttons, that's for sure. Think of it this way. You're the bridge between the creative vision and that final printed product. You ensure the colors are vibrant and accurate, the graphics are sharp, the content is perfectly aligned. Basically, you make sure that what the client envisioned is flawlessly translated onto the printed page. Talk about impact.
Okay, so you're responsible for
Yeah.
make sure that magazine cover tops.
Yeah.
Or that brochure looks incredibly professional.
Got it. Now let's dive into some tech skills. That you'll want to highlight in the interview. Software proficiency is key here. Make sure you mention your experience with the Adobe Creative Suite, especially Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. These are the industry standard tools. And showing your mastery demonstrates that you're ready to hit the ground running.
Right, those are like the bread and butter of pre-press work. Now, what about color management? That seems pretty crucial too.
Absolutely. Color management is a huge part of the job, and hiring managers want to see that you have a deep understanding of it. Don't just say you're good with color, talk about specific techniques you use, like color calibration and profiling. This shows that you have a keen eye for detail, and you're committed to producing high-quality work.
That makes sense. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the interview. The RoleCatcher guides have tons of sample questions. Which one should we tackle first?
Let's start with the classic. What experience do you have in prepress operations? This one might seem straightforward, but it's your chance to really shine.
Yeah, don't just give a generic answer here. This is where you want to be specific and showcase your expertise.
Exactly. Instead of just listing your previous roles, talk about specific projects you've worked on, the challenges you faced, and the solutions you implemented. And don't forget to quantify your accomplishments. Did you improve efficiency, reduce errors? Give them concrete examples of your impact.
So instead of saying, I worked as a Prepress operator at X company, you could say, at X company, I managed the Prepress process for a major product launch, ensuring accurate color reproduction across 5,000 brochures, resulting in a 10% increase in customer satisfaction.
Now you're talking. You've given them specific details, highlighted your skills, and demonstrated the positive outcome of your work. And be prepared for follow-up questions like, tell me about a time you had to troubleshoot a printing issue. What did you learn?
Ooh, that's a good one. This is where you can show your problem-solving skills and ability to learn from experience. So you want to have a specific example ready to go. What was the issue? How did you approach it? What was the outcome? And most importantly, what did you learn from that experience?
Hiring managers want to see that you can think on your feet and handle those inevitable hiccups. That can happen in the printing process. Remember, they're not just looking for someone who can follow instructions. They want someone who can think critically and find solutions.
Okay, next question. How do you ensure accuracy in prepress operations? This seems like attention to detail is key here.
It absolutely is. This is your opportunity to showcase yourself as someone who is meticulous and quality-focused. Talk about your process, pre-flight checks, color calibration, anything that demonstrates you're a stickler for getting things right.
So pre-flight checks are right.
Yeah.
A final quality control check. Before sending the files to print right, you want to make sure everything is perfect to avoid costly errors and reprints.
Exactly. And you can even mention specific software or tools you use for pre-flight checks. This shows you're up to date with industry best practices and dedicated to delivering top-notch results. Now be ready for a follow-up question like, what's your approach to managing multiple projects with tight deadlines?
Ah, the dreaded deadline question. Everyone wants to know you can handle the pressure. So what's the secret to juggling multiple projects without losing your cool?
Organization is key. Talk about your strategies for prioritizing tasks, staying organized, and communicating effectively with your team. Maybe you use a specific project management method or a time tracking tool, whatever works for you. Make sure you highlight your proactive approach to managing deadlines.
So you're not just saying you're good at multitasking. You're giving them concrete examples of how you stay organized and deliver high-quality work under pressure.
Right. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can really give you an edge. Their platform analyzes job descriptions and helps you tailor your answers to match the specific skills and experience they're looking for. It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
If a job description emphasizes Your strong organizational skills and ability to work under pressure, RoleCatcher's AI will suggest highlighting. Your project management method, and your experience meeting tight deadlines. That's incredible.
It is. And their interview practice tool with AI feedback helps you refine your delivery and project confidence, which can make all the difference in how you come across to the interviewer. It's like having a sneak peek into the interviewer's mind.
Okay, let's tackle another question.
Yeah.
This seems a little more technical. Explain the difference between raster and vector images.
This is where you get to show off your technical knowledge. You want to provide a clear, concise explanation that demonstrates your understanding of these fundamental image types.
So raster images are made up of pixels, like photographs, while vector images are based on mathematical equations, making them scalable without losing quality. That's important for logos and illustrations, right?
Exactly. And you can even mention specific file formats associated with each type, like JPEG and PNG for raster images and SVG and AI for vector images. It shows you understand the practical applications of these concepts. Don't be afraid to get a little technical here. But also, make sure you can explain it in a way that someone who's not a printing expert could understand.
So you're showing that you not only have the technical knowledge, but also the ability to communicate it effectively. That's impressive.
Right. Remember, you might need to explain these concepts to clients who aren't familiar with the technical jargon. Being able to communicate clearly and effectively is a valuable skill in this role. Now, be prepared for a potential follow-up question like, how would you explain this difference to a client who's not familiar with printing terms?
That's a great one. It tests your ability to simplify complex concepts and make them relatable. Maybe you could use an analogy, like comparing a raster image to a mosaic and a vector image to a blueprint.
Exactly. That's a fantastic way to break down a complex concept and make it more digestible. And it shows you can think creatively and communicate effectively, which are valuable skills in any client-facing role. You know what's fascinating? How many candidates focus solely on showcasing their technical skills in these interviews. While those are definitely important, there's another set of skills that often gets overlooked. Soft skills.
Oh, you're so right. I bet those soft skills like communication and problem solving are just as crucial, if not more so, in this kind of role. After all, you're not just working with machines, you're collaborating with people.
Exactly. Let's dive into a question that often comes up in prepress interviews. What skills are required to become a successful prepress operator? This is your chance to showcase the whole package.
Okay, so we've talked about technical skills, like proficiency in graphic design software, knowledge of printing techniques and processes, and that keen eye for color accuracy. What else should we add to the mix?
Definitely highlight your problem-solving abilities. Can you think on your feet when something goes wrong? Can you meet those tight deadlines without compromising quality? These are critical skills for any prepress operator. And of course, strong communication and collaboration skills are a must. You'll be interacting with designers, clients, production teams. Everyone needs to be on the same page.
So it's about being able to explain complex technical concepts clearly and concisely, not just to your colleagues, but potentially to clients who might not be familiar with the ins and outs of printing.
Absolutely. And don't forget that meticulous attention to detail we talked about earlier. That's non-negotiable for a prepress operator. Every pixel, every color, every alignment needs to be perfect.
Okay, let's move on to another question that often pops up. What qualifications are necessary to become a prepress operator? This seems pretty straightforward, but I have a feeling there's a little more to it than just listing your degrees and certifications.
You're right. It's not just about checking boxes. It's about showcasing your commitment to the field and your deep understanding of the required skills. So while a high school diploma is typically the minimum requirement, mentioning any relevant vocational training, associate's or bachelor's degrees in graphic design or printing technology can really make you stand out.
And what about experience? I bet that's just as valuable as formal qualifications, right?
Absolutely, even if it's not directly related to prepress. Highlighting internships, part-time jobs, or even personal projects can demonstrate your skills and your genuine passion for the field. Remember, interviewers are looking for enthusiasm and a willingness to learn, not just a list of credentials.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI can really come in handy. Their platform can analyze specific job descriptions and recommend the most relevant qualifications to emphasize in your answers. It's like having a personalized career advisor, guiding you every step of the way.
It is, and their feedback goes beyond just content. They help you refine your delivery and project confidence, which can make all the difference in how you come across to the interviewer. Okay, ready for another question?
Bring it on. I'm feeling more confident already.
Let's talk about the industry itself. What industries employ Prepress operators? This question is all about showcasing your awareness of the broader landscape and where your skills fit in.
So we're not just thinking about printing companies, right?
Right. The printing industry is vast and touches many different sectors. You've got commercial printing companies, newspaper and magazine publishers, packaging and labeling companies, advertising agencies, the list goes on. It's important to research the specific company you're interviewing with and tailor your answer accordingly.
For example, if you're interviewing with a packaging company, you'd want to highlight your experience with creating labels and packaging designs. It shows you've done your homework and you're genuinely interested in their work.
Exactly. Now let's get real for a moment. A question that often comes up is, what are the working conditions for a prepress operator? This one might seem a bit tricky, but it's really about showcasing your understanding of the job's realities, both the good and the challenging.
Okay, so we can't sugarcoat it. Prepress work can be demanding. You're often working under tight deadlines, potentially dealing with stressful situations, and spending long hours at a computer workstation.
Right, but it's also a rewarding field, full of opportunities for creativity and problem solving. You get to see your work come to life in print, collaborate with talented people, and constantly learn and grow with new technologies.
So it's about being honest about the challenges, but also highlighting those positive aspects of the job.
Yeah,
You want to show that you're passionate about the field, and you're not afraid of hard work.
exactly. Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk career prospects. What are the career prospects for Prepress operators? This one's all about demonstrating your vision for the future and understanding of industry trends.
So this is where we need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. The printing industry is constantly evolving. We've got digital printing automation. These advancements are changing the game, right?
Absolutely. While the demand for traditional prepress services might be declining, there's still a huge need for skilled professionals who can ensure quality control, troubleshoot technical issues, and adapt to these new technologies.
So continuous learning is key here. You want to show the interviewer that you're not just comfortable with the status quo. You're eager to embrace new advancements and expand your skill set.
Right. And that's where career paths like becoming a senior operator, a prepress supervisor, or even a production manager come into play. The possibilities are there. For those who are ambitious and dedicated to continuous learning, now here's a question that can really set you apart from other candidates. How can one advance in the field of prepress operations? This is where you sell yourself as a motivated and driven individual.
Okay, so it's not just about saying, I want to move up the ladder. You need to showcase specific actions you've taken to advance your career right.
Exactly. Have you taken on challenging projects, pursued certifications, attended industry events? Highlight those initiatives, and make sure to connect your aspirations with the company's goals. How can your growth contribute to their success?
That's a great point. It shows that you're not just thinking about your own personal gain. You're thinking about how your contributions can benefit the company as a whole. Now, let's not forget about the amazing resources RoleCatcher offers to help with interview preparation.
Their interview practice tool is a game changer. You can record yourself answering these questions and get personalized feedback on your content delivery and even body language.
It's like having a personal interview coach
Right
there in your pocket, analyzing your responses, identifying areas for improvement, and suggesting alternative phrasing and key points to emphasize.
Right. And they even offer tips on how to project confidence, which can make a huge difference in how you come across to the interviewer. Okay, are you ready to tackle some more questions?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Okay, here's one that often throws people off. Can you explain the difference between spot color and process color?
This one seems simple, but it's really testing your understanding of a fundamental printing concept.
Exactly. You need to be able to clearly explain. That spot color is a pre-mixed ink used for specific colors, while process color uses a combination of 4 primary inks, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, to create a wide range of colors.
It's like the difference between using a single paint color straight from the tube versus mixing different colors to create a custom shade.
Oh,
And you can give examples, like using spot color for a company logo or process color for a photograph.
perfect. Now let's move on to another technical term. What is trapping and why is it important in prepress?
Trapping, that sounds vaguely familiar, but I need a refresher.
Think of it as a safety net for your printing process. Trapping is a technique used to compensate for slight misregistrations during printing. It involves creating overlaps or spreads between adjacent colors, to prevent gaps or white lines from appearing.
Ah, so it's like adding a little buffer zone between colors to make sure they blend seamlessly, then there are no unsightly gaps.
Exactly. Trapping ensures that the final printed product looks professional, polished and free of any unwanted surprises. Now, here's a question that really tests your knowledge of file formats. What are the most common file formats used in prepress? And what are their advantages and disadvantages?
Okay, time to show off our file format expertise. We've got PDF, TIFF EPS, and AI, each with its strengths and weaknesses.
Right. You want to showcase your understanding of these different file types and explain their suitability for different types of printing projects. For example, PDFs are great for sharing and viewing. TIFFs are known for their high image quality. EPS files are often used for vector graphics, and AI files are native to Adobe Illustrator.
It's important to highlight your experience working with these formats and your ability to choose the right one for each specific project.
Absolutely. You want to show the interviewer that you're not just familiar with the file types, you understand their nuances and how to use them effectively.
Okay, last question for this round. What is imposition and why is it important? This one sounds a little intimidating.
Don't let the term scare you. Imposition is simply the process of arranging pages on a printing sheet to maximize efficiency and minimize waste. It's a crucial step in the prepress process. That ensures everything prints in the correct order and orientation.
So it's like solving a printing puzzle, figuring out how to fit all the pieces together in the most efficient way possible.
Exactly. And good imposition can save time, money, and resources, making the entire printing process smoother and more cost-effective.
That makes sense. It's about being strategic and thinking ahead to optimize the entire workflow. It's fascinating to see how much thought and planning goes into every step of the prepress process.
It is. And that's one of the things that makes this field so engaging. There's always something new to learn, new challenges to solve, and new ways to push the boundaries of printing technology.
You know what's really impressive is that RoleCatcher has compiled this vast database of prepress interview questions, covering everything from the basics to the more advanced concepts we've been discussing. It's like having a cheat sheet for your interview.
It is. And their AI-powered feedback system takes it to a whole new level. You can practice your answers and get personalized guidance to improve your performance, which can make all the difference in how you come across to the interviewer. It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Okay.
Yep.
I think our brains are full for now. Let's take a quick break and come back for the final part of our prepress interview deep dive. Okay, we're back. Ready for the final stretch of our prepress interview prep. We've covered a ton of ground already. Technical skills, soft skills, industry insights. You're practically an expert.
Yeah, you've been absorbing information like a printing press absorbs ink. But you know what can really set you apart from other candidates? The questions you ask at the end of the interview.
Right. It's not just about answering their questions. It's about showing them that you're engaged, curious, and genuinely interested in the role in the company.
It's your chance to gather valuable information. That'll help you decide if this is the right fit for you. Plus, asking thoughtful questions leaves a lasting impression on the interviewer. It shows you're taking this opportunity seriously and you're thinking beyond just getting the job.
Okay, so let's brainstorm some killer questions. What are some things we should be asking about?
First, think about the company's future. You could ask something like, what are the company's plans for growth and innovation in the printing industry? This shows you're thinking long-term and interested in how they're adapting to the evolving landscape.
That's a great one. It demonstrates that you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for a place where you can grow and contribute to something bigger.
Exactly. And as we're talking about growth, you should definitely ask about professional development opportunities. Something along the lines of, what opportunities are there for professional development and training within the company? This shows you're eager to learn and expand your skill set, which is essential in this ever-changing industry.
Yeah, and it also signals that you're invested in your own career development, and you're looking for a company that supports that growth. Okay, what about something a bit more specific to the role itself?
You could ask about their prepress workflow. What type of prepress workflow does the company use? And what software and equipment will I be working with? This shows you're eager to get hands-on, and you're interested in the technical environment you'll be operating in.
That's a smart one. It demonstrates that you're already thinking about how you'll fit into their existing systems and processes.
And don't forget about the people. You'll be spending a lot of time with your colleagues, so it's important to get a sense of the team dynamics and company culture. You could ask, can you tell me more about the team I'll be working with and the company culture?
That's a great way to gauge if the work environment is collaborative, supportive, and aligned with your values. Okay, so we've got questions about the company's vision, professional development opportunities, the technical environment, and the team dynamics. I think we're ready to rock that Q&A.
You are. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can be a huge help in preparing for those tricky interview questions. Their platform analyzes job descriptions to pinpoint the skills employers are looking for, then helps you tailor your answers to highlight those specific skills.
It's like having a secret weapon. It gives you a competitive advantage by ensuring your responses are directly relevant to the job requirements. And don't forget about their interview practice tool with AI feedback. It helps you refine your delivery and project confidence, which can make all the difference.
It's like having a personal interview coach right there in your pocket. It's incredible how technology can empower us to put our best foot forward in these situations.
It really is. So to wrap things up, you've got the knowledge, the tools, and the confidence. To ace that Prepress Operator interview, remember, preparation is key. And with a little help from RoleCatcher's AI, you'll be well on your way to landing your dream job.
And remember, the printing industry is constantly evolving. So embrace continuous learning, stay curious, and never stop honing your skills. Good luck. We're rooting for you.